I'm Dave. I'm going to lead you through this module of the seated positions and the cueing and the alignments. So what you will need during these sequences is a yoga belt and a yoga block, because what I'd like to do is firstly show you the posture itself, the asana itself, but then show you how you would maybe teach that to a beginner or somebody with tight hips. Okay, so if you can make sure you've got your yoga block and your yoga belt, we'll get started. So, Padmasana, Lotus pose. Now this is a really advanced pose. I know people tend to think that it isn't because, oh, I used to do this when I was a kid and I used to do that, but when you were a kid and now with a lifetime of conditioning on your body, it's a different thing altogether. So it's quite an advanced pose, so you have to be careful when you're teaching it. So, you know, if people are really tight in the hips like this and they're up, generally you're going to be spending a few classes building them up and opening the hips up so they can eventually try to do Lotus. But if you can imagine that the whole of the primary series, the Ashtanga primary series, is designed to open up the body so you can sit in Lotus and meditate. So you have to do all of that primary series in order to prepare the body to be able to sit in Lotus comfort free, without the illusion of body and the freedom of the mind. So it's a big pose. It's a meditation pose, but it's something that you really need to sort of build up to. Again, if you've got people who are nearly there and trying to get there, if you get them sat up onto the block, you can just help lift the hips and lift the pelvis and let the hips open up a little bit more. But I would tend to start with trying to get one foot across the front of you like this, and then take the other foot and see if you can place it on the knee on that foot. And then with this hand, I'm not pushing down on this, I'm just using the weight of my arm to see if I can bring that knee down so the feet and the knees are together like this. So this is where you're building somebody up. You might not even get to the point initially. People are so tight in the hips because of desk work and all of the different lifestyle choices that this outward rotation can be really tight. And also, you know, the opening up of the outside of the ankle. Some people are really flexible in the ankle here. Me personally, I wear boots quite often and I ride motorcycles, so I'm not as flexible in the ankles as a lot of people. So once you've started to build this up and you're starting to feel the tension move out of the way, you want to lift this foot, the left foot, and try and turn the heel in as much as you can, and then lift that up and take it past your knee, and then try and draw the heel in, right in close in here into the ascending colon area. So this heel is going to push into here, and then that foot can walk out, and then you can think about, can I get this knee down towards the floor? So again, this can be where you're building up. If you can do this over weeks with your students, that they can do this on one side and then they can do this on the other side. And you would start doing it without putting the tension into this knee to try and get this foot over. But if you can get that knee down towards the floor, then we have to do the same as we did with this foot. We lift it up, turn that foot in, draw it past, and then draw the heel in. And then bring the hands down to the knees. So this is an advanced pose, especially this knee, because it's lower and coming up and over. You really feel it in the knees. So don't just try and tough it out and go, oh, I can do this. Listen to your body. This is a lot of tension into the knees here. But if you can get to the stage of it, you can then So in Ashtanga yoga, you would only do that on one side. But I'm a firm believer of if you do it on one side, then really you should do it on the other side, just for that balance in the physical body, regardless of, you know, what's happening on the internals, just on a skeletal. So I would then lift that foot, take that out, and then release the other foot. So then the left foot would come across the front of the mat, and then I would try and place that foot on the knee, and then with the weight of that arm, see if I can bring that knee down towards that foot. But again, you want to be tall, and even if you're just in the warm-up area and you're trying to see if that'll open, keep active, keep the breath, the focus. So if you can get that down, remember you would pick that foot, you want to turn the foot, so you're trying to turn the sole of the foot up towards the ceiling, and that helps open that hip joint there at the side. Bring it across and then in, so the heel comes right into the descending colon this time, and then that foot can come forward, and see if the right knee can come down to the floor. So this could be your stages. This might be stage 2 if you can do the first one, and then say if you think stage 2 is going to be a bit much, stay in the first one. Then if that knee can come down, remember you're picking that foot up, turning the foot up, bring it out and in, and then again. Pelvic floor lifted, tummy in, crown of the head is lifted, shoulders relaxed. Okay, so this is not a pose that you can rush. Take your time, build up to it, and then once it's there, you'll be able to sit there all day. But you need to build up to it. So there it is, Lotus pose. Namaste.
Okay. Keep smiling. Yeah. Well, we took all the chances and danced all